Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Ritaban Dotto and today I am here with another video, and here I am going to share my experience which I had at Service Selection Board, that is 4FSB Varanasi, which I attended from 22nd of March to 27th of March. So if you are interested in it, please do keep watching this video, and if you do like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon for notifications and keep watching the video. So as I mentioned, I attended this from 22nd of March. So I had my train on 21st of March from Kolkata to Varanasi. I reached Varanasi at 7:30 p.m. at night, and I stayed there at a hotel for that night. I got a hotel for only 500 rupees, and if you want to know which hotel I stayed in, it was Hotel Kashi. So if you want the directions, you can mention it in the comment box. I'll ping you the directions. So on 22nd of March, I had the reporting time at 6 a.m. at Varanasi cantonment, right? So we all know that it is just the opposite entrance. That is, the main entrance is towards platform number 1, and this is towards platform number 9. So after going there, you will be first having your COVID checks, where they're going to check your temperature, they're going to check your call letter, they're going to check your FCAT admit card. So first of all, they're going to check all your documents, that is whether you have them or not. Even if you do not have, by chance you do not have your corona test. So when I went, what happened, 3 of them did not have the COVID test. So the authorities took them to a separate site and they were tested separately. So even if you by any chance could not could not conduct your COVID test, don't be worried, because they will definitely be conducting the test for you. So after the initial verification of documents, our luggages were then put onto a truck, and we sat on a bus, and then we moved towards the testing center. So the testing center is a bit far away from the reporting point. It took about 10 minutes on the bus. On reaching that point, we were first segregated into the 3 sections, that is the freshers, the screened outs, the conference outs, and the recommended candidates. So we were divided into 4 sections, and each of them was separately clubbed into a group. Over there, first of all, we had to submit our declaration certificates, which we all must fill up from home and reach there, and they also collected our COVID negative reports. So these 2 things are mandatory if you want to participate in the screening process. And after this thing, we had our breakfast. For breakfast, they gave dalia and green chutney and tea. So after having all this, we were then led towards the testing center, which was on the first floor of that hall. Now there were a total of about 260 students. There were around, if I am not mistaken, there were about 64 freshers, and there were about 38 screened out candidates. I'm not sure. The remaining are obviously about the conference out and the recommended candidates, but I'm not sure about the exact figures of them. But as I mentioned, I know about the exact figures of the freshers and the screened out candidates. So we were then made to sit on our chairs, which were allotted to us based on whether we are freshers, whether we are screened out candidates, whether we are conference out candidates, or whether we are recommended candidates. And this was followed by the OIR, that is the Officer Intelligence Rating Tests, which had 2 papers of 17 minutes each, that is 34 minutes in total, back to back, and 2 papers. And the questions over here are all aptitude based questions, obviously, and they are mainly of 4 different types. So if you have seen any OIR previous year papers or something, I'm sure you will be knowing which are the 4 types. They are that there will be 4 dices given, and you have to identify which set the dice belongs to. Second type of question is you are given 2 dices, and you have to find whether they are identical or not. And the third thing is you have to find which of the word will be coming in the last in the dictionary. And fourth type is some basic aptitude questions like time, speed, time and distance, and maybe profit and loss. So after this, we were then again segregated, that is the freshers stayed back in the testing hall while the others moved away. So now we had the PPDT round, that is the picture perception and discussion test, where we were first shown a picture. And in the picture, I'll just say what was there. In the picture, there was a lady in front of her laptop, and there was it was a conference hall setting where there were a number of people in a meeting hall. So this was basically the picture. That is, I'll just repeat it again. There was the lady who was in front of a laptop. It was a U-shaped conference room where all of them were sitting in the positions. So this was the PPDT picture, and as we all know the PPDT process. First we had the first had the story writing time, that is the picture perception round, and it was followed by the discussion round. I was chest number 22, and there were the chest numbers were divided into 12. Yes, that we were divided into 12 groups each. So in my group we had chest number 13 to chest number 24. Now the discussion round. As I said, in the discussion round, it is very important to be the first one to start speaking, and I was the first one in my group who spoke, and others were surprisingly very quiet. So I spoke as much as I could. So this is actually an advantage. So if you see that others are not speaking, take that advantage and keep on speaking until you exhaust your points. And so the discussion round was very good. All of us did participate, and there was a boy who was chest number 20, if I am not mistaken, and he summarized the whole points very nicely. And even he was the one who was nominated by the entire group to speak the story. Similarly, all the groups had their own PPDTs, and then we were taken towards another section where we had a lunch. So the first day we had packed lunch. We were given veg biryani and raita. After having a lunch, we all collected our belongings and stood in the line. And after that, the results of the first round was announced. And from our group, we were 4 of them, that is 4 from 12, who were selected for the second round of screening. The chest number 13, chest number 20, chest number 22, which was me, and chest number 23. So 4 of us were selected for the next round. In the next round, before the next round, after that, all our phones were submitted. We had to submit our phones, and our luggages were taken for checks, like for security checks. And then there were total 66 of us who made it to the second round, including all of us, and there were 34 freshers who made it to the next round. By freshers, I mean freshers and screened out candidates. There were total 34 who made it to the next round. So after all this, we were allotted our mess. There were 8 of us in each groups, total 64, and 2 of them were in 2 different groups. And I was allotted chest number 10, and I was with my friends chest number 9 to chest number 16, and we were allotted the Mirage Squadron. So on that day, we did not have any further process, any other procedures. It was followed by the document check, whether they just confirmed whether we had all the documents or not. They just wanted to see whether we had the original documents or not. They did not even care about the Xeroxes or about the 25 pictures or anything of that sort. So do not worry at all. You can carry whatever documents you have, but just ensure that you have the original documents which needs to be carried, which is mentioned in the call letter. And don't worry about much about the Xeroxes and the photos, because you'll get ample opportunities. That is, the Air Force gives a lot of opportunities to you all to get all this to get all the Xeroxes or getting your pictures done. So we were followed by the document check processes, and by evening, it was by evening when this all ended, and this was followed by snacks where we had tea and there was pakoda. And after this, we had a dinner at the mess, and the dinner was basically, it consisted of it had roti, it had rice, it had dal, it had one vegetable tarkari, and then there was one non-veg dish. It was chicken most probably, and for vegetarians it was paneer, and for sweet dish there was bananas. So this was the story of my first day over there, and after this we all went back to our room, and it is 10 p.m. By 10 p.m. it is all lights out, so by 10 p.m. we all had to go to sleep. On the next day we had a psych test, that is we know that the TAT, VAT and SRT, and obviously the SDT. So we were after breakfast, we all had to wake up by 5 a.m. in the morning, because the breakfast was at 5:30 and fall-in was at 6:15 a.m. where we all had a temperature checks, and we were then by 7 o'clock we were led to the testing centers, the same testing hall, and we had back-to-back the TAT, which is the story writing, the VAT, which is the sentence writing, the SRT, which is the situation reaction, and the self-description test. I am sure you all will be knowing what are the 4 different tests, because there are ample resources about all this on the internet. In case you want more further information on all this, please do mention in the comment box. I will try to arrange some information on the topics on which you think it is important. So I managed in all these 4 rounds, I managed to complete each and every, like the entire sections, and I completed it all in all, like whichever was possible. And after that, we all were led back to our hostels. Now some of us had our interviews on that day, and unluckily even I had my interview on that day. So my psych tests were followed by the interview processes. So we were led to the interview center by the DMCO, and we were all made to sit in the waiting hall. For the interview, you are strictly only to carry your file, which will be containing the original education certificates and any extracurricular certificates which you wish to show to your interviewer. So my interview was taken by the deputy president of the board, and the interview was a very cool process. Like when you are facing the interviewer, you'll feel as if he's some close relative. Like the way he'll be speaking, the way he'll be smiling, you'll feel that I should share whatever I want to say. But you must be you must be sure over here, because at the end of the day, he is just an interviewer, and you have to be aware of what you're saying, of how much you're saying, and what truth you're saying. Because at the end of the day, you cannot say anything and everything, because there should be a limit on how much information you give, and that is how much information you want the interviewer to know about you. So I had my interview, which went on for almost about 1.5 hours, and as I said, the interview was very cool. But the thing is, whoever attends the interview will feel that the interview is very cool, because that's how the process goes on. I mean, that is how they're trained to conduct the interview, right? So after that, I did not have any other things for that day. So we basically played volleyball. We basically played volleyball, badminton, basketball, and cricket throughout the whole day. All the indoor facilities were closed due to COVID. However, the outdoor facilities were open, and that is how we spent our day. Now over here, they will be telling you all to carry hand gloves, sanitizers, masks, facials. However, of all this, the only things which are mandatory are the sanitizer, the face mask, and the face shield. Now the face shield you do not even have to wear always. It is only for the interview and the conference procedure, where you have to open your mask. So it is mandatory for you all to carry your face shield. So that is my story of the first and the second day. And within these 2 days, I had the screening process, the psych test, and the interview test. So on the third day, I did not have anything, because I already had my interview. So some of my group members had their interviews. So on Wednesday, that is the third day, I was pretty chilled out, and I just roamed around. I did nothing basically. I just played with our friends, and that is how I spent the entire day. And you're also allowed to call your family members. They have 3 phones over there, with which they have a separate timing, so you can call your members and speak to them. So on the 4th day, I had my group test, that is the GTO rounds, which is basically the first you have the GD. There are 2 GDs. You have the GPE, then you have the the group obstacles, that is the PGT, the HGT. This is followed by the command task, and then we had the lecturate. This was followed by the individual obstacles, the IOs, and finally you had the final group task. The snake race was closed due to COVID, so these were the tasks which we had. So for GD, one of the topics we had was whether it is important to, like, what is the importance of holding international sport events. And there were 3 leads. One is for tourism, one is for economic, and one is for local industry. And the second topic, I don't exactly recall, but it was most probably related to some social issue. I cannot recall the exact name. For lecturate, the topics which were given to me was social media, the new tax reforms, prohibition of liquor, and Indo-China relation. So these are the the speaking rounds. For GPE, there was one situation which was given, and we had to solve that. It was pretty easy, and we did solve it very nicely. And the group tasks were also very good, but it was a bit tricky. But there was one candidate, chest number 15 chest number 13 in a group, who solved it very nicely, and I think we did proceed very well. We completed all the 4 obstacles. However, in the command task, I was given a pretty easy, because I did not perform well in the group task. So that is why I got a very easy command task, which I had to just put the plank over there. And in the individual obstacles also, I did not do very well. I just did 3 obstacles. That is the Burma Bridge, the long jump, and the double jump. So my group task did not go that well, which I wanted it to go. My psych test and the interview did go very well. However, my group task did not go very well, and I was actually disappointed with my performance. And so that was it for that day. We also had a lunch. We had a dinner. For lunch and dinner, they usually give roti, they give rice, they give dal, they give one veg, veg tarkari, which is usually of it is depends day to day. Like it is either of brinjal, or it is of cabbage, or it is of any vegetables, and you have either paneer, or you have egg, or you have any non-veg items. And for sweet dish, I had gajar ka halwa one day. There was grapes and there was bananas. And one day for dinner, they gave a continental dinner. That is, they had macaroni, they had bread, they had rajma, and they had custard also. So these are basically my experience over there. And finally, on the conference day, I could not make it. I could not get recommended because, as I said, my performance was not good in the GD round. There were 9 people who got recommended from our batch, and there were 2 freshers, chest number 5 and chest number 8, and they all deserve to be recommended. So I'm not sad that I did not get recommended, but I'm very happy with the overall experience which I had. And because when we are at home, in any the competitions which we have in a civilian life is a very cutthroat competition. It is like the competition in which one tries to pull down the other, but over here the competition is not like that. It is more of a brotherhood feeling, and it is like we have to carry all the teammates together. So the competition is also like very fun. I mean, you're going to enjoy, because this is something which you usually don't which we usually don't experience in our daily life. So if you all get an opportunity to do definitely you all must at least once attend any service selection boards, because you're definitely going to love the atmosphere, the ambience, and the same mind people. As I said, the memories which I've had over there, I'm sure I'm going to definitely carry them for the rest of my life. And I'm still in touch with my friends. The 8 of us, the memories which we create are definitely are everlasting ones. So this was my experience at 4 AFSB Varanasi. So if you all want to know any further information about my stay over there, my experience over there, my specific experience over there, you can mention it in the comment box below, and I'll definitely try to answer to each one of you whenever it is possible. So if you have enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to my channel. I'll again share many such further experiences which I have experienced in my life, and I hope you are going to enjoy it. So thank you very much, and looking forward to the next video.